A black cat made strange noises on the baby monitor. Mom checked the bedroom and immediately jumped on the phone. It's no surprise that many cat lovers consider their feline friends to be members of their own families. After all, they're always willing to cuddle, and they have no problem hanging around when their humans need to confide in them. It all makes you wonder if your cat feels the same way, and one feline named Midnight might have just proved that theory to be true. After his family suffered through a series of tragedies, he did something that most people would never believe a cat could do. There's a very distinct division between cats and other pets, at least as far as personalities go. Some cats tend to be a bit more independent and aloof, but some can surprise us with extraordinary gestures. Yet, while cats might not always show their excitement the way dogs do, for instance, they really do have a special relationship with their humans. And, sometimes, they'll even go above and beyond to help them. One couple from Kansas City, Missouri, realized this firsthand. Bernita Rogers and her husband, Roy, hoped to start a big family, but after 3 consecutive premature births, all of which ended in the infant's passings, Bernita felt like she was losing hope. So when a stray cat stumbled into what had become a rather sorrowful situation for the couple, the timing couldn't have been better. Bernita in particular fell in love, and it wasn't long before she adopted him. Bernita named the stray cat Midnight thanks to his striking, pitch-black fur. He was an affectionate addition to their home, and even more, his arrival seemed like it could have been a harbinger for other good things to come. After all, it wasn't long after Midnight settled into his new family's home that Bernita became pregnant again. This time, she finally gave birth to a healthy and happy baby girl named Stacy. After everything the couple had gone through, they were extremely protective of Stacy, and they never lost sight of the baby monitor. "We were determined that nothing would ever happen to the baby," said Roy. Unfortunately, there was only so much that Bernita and Roy could do to protect their precious baby girl. When she was only 6 weeks old, Stacy suddenly became terribly ill. Panicked, Bernita rushed her to a pediatrician. Bernita was worried, but the doctors didn't seem terribly concerned. "They told me it was a cold, of the upper respiratory type thing that was going around, and not to worry, that she would be okay," she said. Following the doctor's advice, Bernita brought Stacy home and put her down for a nap. Bernita's parents were visiting from out of town, so she decided to ease some of her worries by spending time with them downstairs while the baby slept off her cold. That was when Midnight began acting strangely. For some odd reason, Midnight was jumping up and down. He'd pounce from the ground to Bernita's lap and back down again. "He obviously wanted me to do something, but I really wasn't interested," Bernita recalled. Yet Midnight seemed to have something important to say. Suddenly, he raced upstairs, and the next thing Bernita and her family knew, the cat was making horrible sounds right into the baby monitor's speaker. Bernita wasn't even sure what she was hearing, but she knew that it couldn't have been good. "It was this screech wail scream cry. It was frightening enough that I jumped out of the chair and ran upstairs," she explained. She reached Stacy's room just in time to notice that the baby was gasping for air, and her skin was turning blue. It would have been horrifying for any parent, but Bernita was particularly distraught. She couldn't bear the thought of losing a 4th child. Stacy had apparently suffered a full respiratory failure, something that should have easily been fatal. But Bernita managed to rush the baby to the hospital, where doctors were able to save her life just in time. It wasn't until after their return home that Bernita realized something special. She was incredibly lucky that Midnight was in the house and sensed that something was wrong with the baby. Without Midnight there to alert the then distracted mother that something was wrong with her daughter, there was no doubt that little Stacy would have suffered permanent damage or worse. Thanks to Midnight, Stacy was able to grow up and have a normal life. It was no wonder that she developed a special bond with him. At age 12, she called him a good friend and said that she loves him dearly. Of course, Bernita still had a special place in her heart for the cat who saved her baby's life. For whatever reason, we were given a second chance by the help of a cat to enjoy this child and watch her grow. You can tell just how much Midnight meant to this little family in this video. Many years may have passed since the harrowing incident, but nothing will ever change what he did for his family.